Hey there, fellow survivors and apocalypse enthusiasts. Today we've got a mind-blowing video that's going to take you on a wild ride through history. We're diving deep into the top 10 apocalypses that humanity has miraculously survived. That's right, folks. We've stared down the end of the world not once, not twice, but 10 times, and we're still here to tell the tale. From ancient catastrophes to modern-day near-misses, get ready to be amazed and entertained as we recount these epic moments when the world teetered on the brink of destruction. So, grab your popcorn, sit back, and join us as we explore the incredible stories of resilience and survival. Get ready to be blown away. Let's start with number 10 in our list, the Black Death. All right, folks, let's talk about one of the most infamous killers in human history, the Black Death. Now, you might think it's just a one-time deal, but guess what? This pest called Yersinia pestis, responsible for the bubonic plague, made multiple deadly comebacks. First, it made its debut in 541 CE, known as the Plague of Justinian. It tore through the Byzantine Empire, taking down a mind-boggling 50 million people, which was a quarter of the world's population back then. Fast forward to 1346, and it reared its ugly head again as the Black Death. Victims had these gruesome swellings, high fevers, and even started vomiting blood. It wiped out a staggering 75 million to 200 million people. Imagine that, folks. Europe lost about 60% of its population, and it took 250 long years to bounce back to pre-plague levels. But hey, it didn't stop there. There was even a third outbreak in China in 1855, snatching another 10 million lives. But here's the kicker. The plague technically still exists today, so the big question is, will humanity survive the next round? Stay tuned, folks. History's a wild ride. Number 9, folks, let's talk about the Ice Age. Nowadays, just a little dip in temperature has us scrambling for our cozy snuggies, right? But imagine this. Our ancestors not only survived but thrived through a bone-chilling ice age. I mean, that's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. According to some super scientific research, so scientific they called it science, they've discovered human fossils dating back a whopping 37,000 years. Yup, that's right. Our ancestors managed to tough it out during the Ice Age when the world turned into a giant freezer. Temperatures dropped, plants died off, and life got seriously tough. But guess what? We hung in there. Here's the crazy part. Every other human species on Earth besides Homo sapiens, that's us, the smart ones, and Neanderthals, who were like a less refined version of us, they all went extinct. Can you believe it? Some scientists think our survival was all thanks to a tiny warm spot about 200 miles east of modern-day Cape Town. Talk about luck. So, while ice was trying to give us the deep freeze, our ancestors held on for dear life. And while there's no proof that anyone survived sitting through Ice Age 2 to 5, I mean, who could blame them? One thing's for sure, our species is tougher than a polar bear in a snowstorm. Stay tuned for more mind-blowing discoveries, and be sure to hit that subscribe button for all amazing things. Number 8, 2012 solar flare. Now let's take a trip back in time to 1859 when people were busy donning corsets and growing epic mustaches. But something absolutely bizarre happened over Australia that year. Picture this. A mysterious white light appeared in the sky. Now back then, there were a couple of sharp-eyed astronomers, Richard Carrington and Richard Hodgson, who caught this event. But it didn't really affect society as a whole. But fast forward to today, and oh boy, things would be very different. You see, that strange occurrence was actually a massive solar storm, and if it happened now, it would throw our modern world into chaos. Imagine, no power, no artificial light, no internet for cat videos and memes, no way to text your BFF, just old school shouting. And the worst part? No more selfies, folks. Now here's the real kicker. In 2012, we came pretty darn close to a solar storm disaster. I mean, it was a hair's breadth away from smacking Earth. If that solar storm had kicked off just 6 minutes earlier, we'd be in a whole heap of trouble. NASA even says we'd still be picking up the pieces. So next time you're charging your gadgets or snapping a selfie, remember that Mother Nature can throw us a curveball when we least expect it. Number 7, Tunguska event. We're diving into the incredible Tunguska event, a story of Earth's close encounter with a cosmic cannonball. You see, when the universe isn't throwing solar flares our way, it has a more direct, though less elegant method. hurling giant space rocks at us. Now, we all know about the meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs, but this tale is something else. Picture this. It's 1908, and a massive meteorite comes hurtling into our atmosphere, crash landing in the Siberian wilderness, also known as the middle of nowhere. Talk about a lucky break. But here's the kicker. The impact was 1,000 times more powerful than an atomic bomb. That's right, 1,000 times. It uprooted a mind-boggling 80 million trees, and folks hundreds of kilometers away heard the explosion. Imagine your windows shattering from that boom. Now, let your imagination run wild for a moment. If that meteorite had taken a slightly different path, it could have slammed right into Moscow, turning it into cosmic dust and completely rewriting history as we know it. Can you even fathom the impact on our world? So, buckle up, my friends, because this Tunguska tale is a mind-blowing journey through space, time, and the incredible power of the cosmos. Number 6. Population collapse. 1,000,000 years ago, humanity nearly vanished. Imagine this, folks. 1,000,000 years ago, humanity teetered on the brink of extinction. And what's even scarier is that we're not entirely sure how it all went down. Scientists digging into our Neolithic past have made a spine-chilling discovery. Our population took a nosedive, dropping to as low as 18,000 people. That's like making humans an endangered species. Now, there are a couple of leading theories here. A, maybe we got hit by some massive calamity, like a monstrous earthquake or a volcanic eruption. Or B, we might have gone overboard in one area, overpopulated it, and wiped out our food supply. Whatever the cause, it left a lasting mark. Fossil records hint that we hung around that 18,000 marks for tens of thousands of years. And let me tell you, being that few in number made us sitting ducks for another cataclysmic event that could have easily wiped us out for good. So, buckle up, folks, as we journey back in time and explore this incredible chapter in human history. Now for the number 5 in our list is Chansy earthquake. Imagine waking up one day to find that a staggering 60% of China's population had been wiped out by a single massive earthquake. Sounds like something out of a blockbuster movie, right? Well, it happened back in 1556 in the Chansy province of China. This earthquake was so insanely powerful, registering at 7.9 on the Richter scale, which is 10 times more potent than the devastating Haiti earthquake in 2010. Wrap your head around this. 830,000 people lost their lives in that quake. That's like wiping out 780 million people today. It was an earthquake that rocked not only the land, but also the very foundations of the Chinese government and economy. Just imagine, if something similar happened today, it could bring the entire world economy to its knees, unleashing chaos and destruction on a global scale. So remember, Mother Nature's power is nothing to mess with. Number 4. Permian-Triassic extinction. Now, fellow Earthlings, can you believe we almost didn't get the chance to enjoy life as we know it today? Back in the day, around 250 million years ago, when we were just tiny little critters, a massive catastrophe almost wiped us out. It was a crazy time, and trust me, you won't believe what went down. Picture this. Earth was a whole different place, and all the continents were huddled together to form the supercontinent Pangaea. But this massive landmass caused some major trouble. It blocked the oceans from flowing properly, and that water turned stagnant and deadly. I mean, talk about a bad day for marine life. It's estimated that a whopping 96% of marine creatures didn't make it. But wait, there's more. The land-based creatures had their own set of problems with this stagnant water situation. Without a reliable source of clean water, about 70% of them also met their unfortunate end. This event is so epic that even NASA calls it the Great Dying. But guess what? Our plucky ancestors managed to survive. And that's why you're here today, chilling and watching YouTube videos. So, stay tuned, because we've got more mind-blowing stories coming your way. Number 3, folks, let's talk about the Spanish flu, a nightmare of a pandemic that hit us right in the 20th century. Back in the medieval days, dealing with plague was like throw some leeches at it and avoid witches. But by the 20th century, we thought we had a grip on disease prevention. Well, Spanish flu decided to prove us all wrong in 1918. This flu spread like wildfire, infecting a whopping 250 million people worldwide. What's crazy is how it turned having a strong immune system into a deadly weakness. Imagine this. Your body's defense system goes haywire, sending a flood of T cells to the infected area, which unfortunately clogs up the airways to your lungs, causing you to drown in your own fluids. Yep, you heard that right. It's like your body tried to deal with a little acne by using a shotgun. By the end of the year, the Spanish flu vanished, probably morphing into a less lethal flu strain. But in its short run, it claimed the lives of a staggering 50 million people. Even Bill Gates rates the odds of its re-emergence within his lifetime as 50-50. Number 2. World War II. All right, folks, let's go into one of the most epic chapters in history, World War II. We don't need to tell you that this war was a colossal deal. It shook the world like nothing before. Over 25 million soldiers paid the ultimate price, and a staggering 50 million civilians lost their lives. And if that's not chilling enough, when we add in the horrors of the Holocaust, the death toll soars to a heart-wrenching 85 million. But here's the kicker. World War II could have been even deadlier. You see, old Adolf Hitler had his team of Nazi scientists working non-stop to create a nuclear bomb, starting way back in 1939. The German nuclear program was getting scarily close to splitting the atom. Some folks even claimed they were on the brink of having an atomic bomb ready to unleash on London and New York. But here's where karma steps in. The Nazis' own bigotry played a role in their failure. They'd killed off or fired most of the brilliant Jewish physicists in the country, leaving them without the experts they needed to make the bomb a reality. So, in a twist of fate, we can thank their prejudice for sparing us from nuclear Armageddon. Number 1. Toba supervolcano. All right, folks, for our latest topic, we will visit the epic tale of the Toba supervolcano. And let me tell you, when you hear supervolcano, you know it's going to be intense. The Toba eruption was unlike anything you've ever seen. Picture this, it's 70,000 BCE and our human ancestors were still figuring out which end of a spear was which. Suddenly, boom, the Toba supervolcano erupts and it was off the charts. Experts, using the epic-sounding volcanic explosivity index, labeled it as mega-colossal. I mean, this eruption was so massive that scientists had to invent new words just to describe it. The heat and power of this explosion vaporized a whopping 2,800 kilometers of rock, launching it into the atmosphere. To put that in perspective, Mount St. Helens in 1980 only managed to destroy 1 measly kilometer of rock. Now, here's where it gets wild. All that rock dust shot into the sky, blocking out the sun's light for 6 whole years. With little plant life and scarce prey, most of our ancestors starved. The global population plummeted to around 3,000, and the number of breeding adults may have dropped as low as 80. Yes, you heard that right, 80. If those 80 folks hadn't come together, we might not be here chatting today. But hold on, there's a silver lining. The fact that only the smartest and most resourceful humans survived probably shaped us into the better species we are today. So, which of these apocalyptic stories was your favorite? Did we miss any epic near-extinction moments? If you're hungry for more apocalyptic adventures, let us know your answers in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below for future content. And if you have any suggestion for a topic you want us to elaborate more, feel free to tell us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next time.